All right, so here we are, July 23rd. We are one day away from splashdown. I'm sure the astronauts were very excited to get to that day. It's really been a long mission. I mean, just imagining um, Armstrong, Collins, and Aldrin in this thing for all these days. They're carrying their whole the whole biosphere they need with them, and any little problem will kill them. So every second they're up there is an opportunity for catastrophic death, or worse, a slow death. So just one more day to go. It's really amazing what they did. So let's see what's going on here. Here's the view they'd have. They are at 111 nautical miles away from Earth. Their speed is about 5,700 feet per second and increasing. It's a good thing the Earth has a thick atmosphere, so that's what they will use to get that speed down to zero. They don't have to carry the delta V to bring it down to zero. Their fuel, delta V, right now is 765 feet per second, so they have some fuel for mid-course corrections, which we will need. The perigee of their orbit right now is negative 586 nautical miles, so it's below the surface of the Earth. And for proper re-entry, we want that perigee to be not too low and not too high. If it's too high, then it won't go into the deep part of the atmosphere, or it won't stay there long enough, and they'll go around. The apogee will reduce, but not all the way to where it needs to be, so they can re-enter. Maybe it'll reduce down to here, and they'll just keep going and do another orbit, which is not something they want. If the perigee is too low, then they'll come in too steeply, and that will cause problems with excessive G force for the astronauts, and or possibly burning off the ablative layer of the spacecraft before they're actually done with the trajectory, which would also be catastrophic. So just from previous runs, we're going to use 58 kilometers as the perigee. So let's switch from nautical to metric, and let's go ahead and set up that correction burn. So here we go, plot correction. We'll zoom in. Okay, so you can see our current trajectory. That's the gantry we launched from. Okay, that's good. Want to raise it up to 58 km, and I'm looking also at the transfer speed, the delta V we're going to use. I want to minimize that as much as possible. So we want 58 km and a minimum delta V. Okay, up 59, 33. That looks pretty good. Let's accept that. Alright, so the computer has calculated our burn vector. It's a 4-second burn, and it'll happen in about 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and do that burn. I'm gonna reduce the thrust level here to 25. So it's an 18-second burn. So at 9 seconds to go, we'll hit it and do 9 before and 9 after. There we go. Shut down. Alright, so that's the burn. Let's see how we did. What's the perigee? 91 kilometers. Well, that's not quite what we wanted. We wanted 59, right? So we have some residual. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll just null. We'll get that extra. We'll do that manually. So I'm reducing to 5. We're going to use the RCS thrusters. And the astronauts have the capability to do that and use the hand controllers. So let's just finesse this. Okay. And whoop, it seems to be going up. Okay, so we actually, I'm going to replot this. Let's go in again and have the computer figure out where we should face. So we want 58, right? And looks like it's going to cost us 20 meters per second. That's fine. We've got that. Okay, so the computer is turning. All right, I'm going to take it out of automatic burn mode because we're going to do this manually. And let's just fire. Okay, 104, 103. 60 and 58. So I'm going to burn a little more. I'm going to take it down to 55 because I think it's going to increase as we go. In fact, you can already see it increasing there. So we'll have to revisit this and probably do one more burn. So we have 176 meters per second left. Let's go back to nautical. So 580 feet per second, 29 nautical miles in our perigee. Looking good. And that's our view. All right, looking back towards the moon. Let's see how that looks. There it is. All right, looks like we have a full moon from our view here, which makes sense since in our model here the sun is up north or top of the screen shining down, so it's bathing the lunar surface, and we can see from this angle pretty much the full illuminated surface. Looking at the Earth, it's the opposite. Oops, what have I done here? Okay. Track. All right. So looking back at the Earth, the sun is shining this way, so this top part is fully illuminated. So we're only probably going to see a sliver. Yeah, just a tiny crescent of the Earth. And as we continue, our trajectory will be in the total dark side of the Earth at entry interface. All right, so let's revisit this in a few hours. Probably have to do one more correction burn. We definitely have the fuel for it. And then that'll be that. All right, cheers.